Hello and welcome to Slipstream, a series of introductions to films currently available on Kanopy, a first-rate streaming service available free to many users of public libraries, perhaps even yours. My name is Kevin Land. This series is brought to you by Grey Highlands Public Library and Speaking Volumes Books and Audio in Flesherton, Ontario. I've always been a fan of film, but two films I saw in 1979 changed me into a lifelong student of film. The first of those was today's selection for discussion, Aguirre, Wrath of God. In August 1979, I moved to Victoria to begin my master's degree in what turned out to be a study of the transition between Frank Norris's novel McTeague and Erich von Stroheim's 9.5-hour masterpiece, Greed. At that time, there was an excellent series of films being shown at the university of the best in classic, world, and contemporary cinema. The very first film I attended in this summer festival was Werner Herzog's Aguirre, Wrath of God from 1972. In the years since I first saw the film, I've seen it 3 or 4 times, and I must say it hasn't lost its appeal. It is no surprise that it was one of Roger Ebert's favorite movies. There are many reasons why the film remains as powerful as it does. It has a compelling story. During Pizarro's 16th century conquest of South America, a secondary expedition is formed to locate El Dorado, the legendary city of gold. The group of conquistadors make their way down the Amazon River in its quest, led by Don Lope de Aguirre, depicted with unforgettable intensity by Klaus Kinski. Aguirre's two governing passions, an unquenchable thirst for power and a love for his daughter, who has accompanied him on the expedition, drives his every move. Although the film's familiar theme of a journey into a heart of darkness is picked up 7 years later in Coppola's Apocalypse Now, its roots go back to King Lear, where the title character grows to learn that way madness lies. So many elements will remain with the viewer long after watching the film. The opening sequence as the members of the expedition make a winding descent down the side of a mountain through the fog. The eerie soundtrack by German experimental band Popol Vuh. Kinski's unsettling performance as a title character, the attacks from unseen natives, the offbeat script, and the images from the final scene at the conclusion of the trip. Werner Herzog has made numerous unforgettable films during his career, beginning with his first feature, the bizarre Even Dwarfs Started Small, and continuing with The Enigma of Caspar Hauser, Stroszek, Fitzcarraldo reuniting him with Klaus Kinski for the 4th time, with A Green Ant's Dream and the disturbing Grizzly Man. His films generally revolve around lesser-known, out-of-the-way stories and are told from a perspective that is uniquely his own. Long known as a filmmaker who has no belief in film schools, Herzog still remains at work today and has become familiar as an actor to a new generation of audiences, most notably as the villain in Jack Reacher and The Mandalorian. This episode's entry for films I'd like to see on Kanopy is twofold, and both are related to Herzog. The first is a documentary by Les Blank entitled Burden of Dreams. It chronicles the director's numerous challenges during the filming of Fitzcarraldo, everything from delays caused by torrential rains to cast replacement, from Jason Robards to, you guessed it, Klaus Kinski, and from Mick Jagger to nobody, to figuring out the logistics of transporting a steamboat up and over the side of a mountain. Most other directors would simply cut from one side of the mountain to the other, but Herzog was not most directors. He actually insisted the steamboat be moved over the mountain itself. The other film I'd like to see on Kanopy is Herzog's own My Best Fiend, which details the tempestuous love-hate relationship between the director and Klaus Kinski. On the next Slipstream, we will look at a different kind of obsession, as our film will be Joseph von Sternberg's The Blue Angel from 1930. It was the film that launched the career of Marlene Dietrich in the U.S. Until then, enjoy Aguirre, Wrath of God, a truly remarkable film experience.